Alright, so starting out today with a combination run and ride. Got my duathlon coming up on Saturday here, so 6 days or so. Just want to try to dial in whether or not the shoes I think I'm going to wear are going to be the right ones. So, give it a little go. You'll see I'm wearing a legionnaire today. This is the classic Robbe Raccoon from Believe in the Run. Those of us who know will understand. Alright, so today I'm running at Atwood Park up in Rockford, Illinois. It's one of my favorite kind of trail systems in the greater Chicago area, if you want to call it that. Obviously, this is nowhere near Chicago. So, in terms of running, very easy, very manageable. Really, I'm just trying to get, I don't know, 45 an hour on foot. I'm going to try to do about the same on bike. Maybe a little bit more, depending on how I'm feeling. Going with the Nike Ultra Fly. Man. Haven't worn these in a little bit. Last time I wore them was a really muddy event, which was a little bit much for them. Ended up absolutely caked. So wasn't what you want them for. They're going to be better on drier conditions like this today. So you can see this is a very smooth, buffed out trail. Really, I take your vapor flies out on this at this point, but it's not the point. Shoes have a little bit of a creaking sound to them right now. It's probably the plate. These are the Nike Ultra Fly. Been out for a couple years. Really kind of a new page in the direction of Nike's trail footwear. They finally went with a outsole rubber by going to Vibram. as opposed to kind of their own rubber they've been using for a while. Although it's on the Peg Trail 5 is actually pretty decent for their own rubber. Vibram just got it beat no matter how you look at it. About a mile and a half in, kind of ducking into a little bit of the heavier forest area. It's a really cool ravine up here. I'll get on video for you. Switchbacks. So, as I was saying, it's a bit hot. Definitely feeling it. Kind of pre-wet my hat here. Gives me a little bit of extra cooling, I feel. But the water to sweat ratio is definitely altering by the second. I'll get the look at the ravine from here. Keeping the pace nice and level. Job isn't to overcook it today. More than anything, I just want to see how I fare doing a bit of a run into a ride. Big thing about here is there's a lot more up and down than where the race is. So the overall just workout here is going to be more. You know, for being a race day shoe with carbon plate and ZoomX, there's not as much energy return as you would think. Like, when I compare it to the Terex and Gravix Speed Ultra, such a long name. When I compare it to that one gives you a lot more rebound, a lot more bounce. This one has a very wide platform in the forefoot, which is excellent for grip. In fact, I was comparing it earlier today, and the platform on this is wider than my mountain biking shoes, like my mountain bike flats. And those are pretty much like a skate shoe in terms of design, so gives you a bit of an idea, I think. Alright, so this is a nice little downhill section. Parallels like one of the most fun sections on the bike, which I'm gonna get footage of in a minute here when I'm done with my run. But little up. Now, if I remember, this next section here is a little bit off camber. Kind of, yeah. So it kind of gives you a little bit of ankle worries, but overall, these shoes, as I said, they're pretty decent. I wouldn't want to be on more aggressive shoe on some of the more off-cambered areas around here. This is a good workout for the ankles as it is. Alright, so coming down to the bottom here, gonna start running back to the car, kind of do a swap for the bike. It's about a little bit longer than the first run section. Then my thought is get on the bike, ride for a little while, then do another run. Just as I said, to get myself used to it. When you get that idea to do a race like 2 weeks before you're actually going to do it, it makes it a little bit more challenging if you haven't really had time to prep. For me, it's not so much the distance, the amount of time. It's really that I haven't been on the bike in a while. So in the last couple weeks, I've been trying to get some more mileage in just to get my body back in shape for it. Let me see this. What's this guy? Huh. New bike trail I'm not familiar with. I'm gonna have to check that one out later. In terms of shoe choice, we'll see on the bike, but I'm kind of thinking this might be a good option. Well, it's not giving me the best on my actual run. I think no matter how I look at it, unless I do dedicated shoes and switch them out at the transition, this is kind of an optimization aspect. What compromises can I make? So I don't want to waste time in transition if I can. Just get going. If I can just throw the helmet on and gloves on and get rolling, that's a lot more time saved than anything else. So that's going to be my plan. But really it's going to hinge on how these feel when I'm actually riding in them. I think having the carbon plate in here is going to be really helpful in that it's going to give me decent leverage. Yeah, it won't be as firm as a good dedicated shoe, but in terms of the compromise thereof, I think it'll make it happen in such a way that I can survive and still have a good event. It's about 2.5 miles in. Getting a little bit closer here to the lot, be about 2.7 or so, which is good. First run stint is 4K, followed by a 15-mile bike, followed by 7K. So a total of about 7 miles or so of running. It's not too bad. I'm looking forward to it. All right, good. Coming to the lot here. Test my watch. I'm just gonna try and knock out some miles here. Woo! Hit that angle wrong. Nearly ate it. Some of that is me learning this shoe a little bit too. Does not grip as well as my mountain bike shoes, but it's not bad. Trails are riding nice and fast today. Really can't complain about this. I'm gonna do a second lap. No stop, no dab. The real test today is doing this all without a chamois. Usually I ride with one of those, but I don't want to run with one and I don't want to have to change. And because it's not like it's going to be a full-time pursuit for me, I'm not really planning on going and getting some kind of speed suit kind of deal or anything. So just have to build up some cushion. All right, no dab, no dab. Perfect. One of the good things about kind of a run, bike, run format is, yeah, I'm going to be working on the bike, but at speed, the airflow kind of helps cool you down nicely. Helps some of that evaporative cooling. That same ravine area, but on bike it's a little bit different. Climb up this little switchback section. I'm not really pushing this section too hard. Just kind of cruising this. I love that section. That was almost as smooth as I've ever done it, too. I feel like right now I got this bike dialed in really well. Whew. Well then, starting to wonder if I have the front suspension a little too firm. I kind of just lost traction there a little bit more than I would have expected. Didn't go over the bar like I almost did. Thought I would. I kept it up. Now climbing again. Just me, mate. hate when people have music blasting. Ah, so the corner got me there. Oh well. Whew.